Guys, did you know that in China, giving a clock isn't a blessing, it's more like curse? And why do people in China think 4 is a such bad number? No 4 in the elevator. The 4 case new, cause nobody uses it. Wedding dates never have 4. If 2 people, they share a pair, it's a seen as a sign they might separate. Today we are diving into some interesting superstitions and traditions in China. I'm Marina. Welcome back to Spicy Mandarin Talks, your unconventional China guide. In China, there are some special rules when giving gifts. For example, giving a clock is considered unlucky. It feels like you are wishing someone's life to end. This is cause in Chinese, giving a clock sounds just like giving the end. All both pronounced 送终. In Chinese culture, 送终, giving the end, which is like funeral for someone who has died. So people usually don't give clocks as a gift. Otherwise, it's pretty much like saying, die already. Also, giving shoes is often seen as a bit awkward. That's because the word of shoes, 鞋, is pronounced the same way as 邪, evil, which carries sinister or cursed vibe. So giving shoes could make people feel uneasy or cause problems. Why do people think 4 is such a bad number? Because 4 sounds like the word for death in Chinese. In Chinese culture, death is a topic people avoid talking about. So the number 4 became an unlucky number.
Here's a video that says it all.
Allen House on the market for years and nobody's been able to sell it. It has a rodent problem.
It's pet friendly.
The roof has a hole.
Skylight.
There was a brutal murder there.
So statistically, another murder is unlikely.
Okay, great. Here you go. The address is 44 West 44th Street.
Oh, hell no!
What's wrong?
Well, in the Chinese culture, the number 4 is bad luck. On account it's pronounced 死, which sounds like the Chinese word for death, 死.
The garbage man is right. Promote him to garbage boss.
In daily life, people avoid 4 in things like wedding dates. Wedding dates never have 4. Business openings. Openings pick special dates. Definitely no 4. And phone numbers. Getting a number without 4 costs more. Many buildings skip the 4 in the elevators. And some even rename 4 as 3A. Guys, avoiding 4 is in Chinese DNA. The 4 is new, cause nobody uses it. Here's a funny superstition. Sharing a pair between 2 people in China is considered unlucky. That's because pair in Chinese is pronounced li, which sounds like the word for separate. When sharing a pair, you cut it in half. It seems like splitting up. It's a seen as a sign they might separate. So people think it's unlucky. This habit is pretty common in daily life, especially among friends and family members. Here's another interesting thing. When you eat fish in China, don't flip it over. Why? Because the action of flipping, it reminds us of car turning over. Flipping fish, usually it means an accident. When eating fish, we eat one side first and pick up the bones, then eat the other side. Speaking of food, we know China uses chopstick, but Did you know there are some things with chopstick you really shouldn't do? When I was kid, if I stuck my chopstick upright in my food, my parents would always say no to. It's a Chinese traditional. At funerals or ancestor traditions, people light incense and stick it straight up in a burner or even in food to honor the spirits of the dead and show respect for their memories. When you are eating, sticking chopstick in your food is just like lighting incense. Doing this at table is considered unlucky. Now you know, don't do this when you eat in China. Those are some taboos in China. And now let's take a look at some interesting cultural quirks. People in China really like even numbers, especially 6 and 8. We believe good things come in pairs. The more even you have, the luckier you get. For example, the number 6 means everything goes smoothly, and the number 8 is also popular. In Chinese, the number 8 sounds like the word for wealth, 发财, which means to get rich. So when you say 888 in China, it's like saying, may you get rich and succeed. Some people are so superstitious, they even put 8 in their password, hoping it will bring them good luck and get rich.
Hi, excuse me, what's a Wi-Fi password here?
Oh, it's 88. Super lucky.
Let's quick look at some quirky Chinese superstitions.
What about your country?
Any funny or weird superstitions? Drop in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and see you next time.